Like you seem like you guys had really good juice even at shoot around this morning, and it seemed to kind of carry over. Did you have that feel even before the game started?
Yeah, I mean, we had energy at practice yesterday. We had good focus this morning. We've been shooting the ball a little bit better, although we didn't make layups tonight, but we've been shooting the ball better. And it paid off, and we caught a little bit of a break tonight without NECA, but it allowed some of their other players to take some shots, and they made them. So, it's not like we had a defensive clinic tonight, but, you saw the bad part of our defense and the good part of our defense from our energy. Our energy was good, so we caused turnovers. We got out and ran off the turnovers, but then we also fouled and gave up, drives to the basket when we weren't getting out in transition. So, I don't know. I don't even know quite what to take from this game other than it's a great win, game we needed, another road win, against a team that's trying to, be a playoff team. And the team, obviously, so I'll ask before I answer the question before it's asked that, we could have their draft pick. So we'll take it.
How much easier does this is a silly question, but just Elena, it seems, the offense was running well, but even when you're in bad spots, she just does stuff that
she just makes plays. And it's amazing to me. I mean, it happens in the NBA, it happens in our league. You have a player that's good, and still she ends up wide open a couple times. And if you're the other coach, you're looking at your team like, how does that happen? And we had a few of those at the other end tonight. But she knows how to move without the ball, so she gets herself to spots to be open. But that was a vintage game tonight. 26 points on a very efficient. It was 10 for 14 from the floor. I thought that was terrific. And you get three other people in double figures to help her and give her great support. I thought we got a good lift there.
You guys, they're still hanging around in that fourth quarter, and then kind of her and Natasha just take over down the stretch. Is that just an example of a veteran team and veterans knowing when to press on the gas?
Natasha's always shot the ball well here too. I mean, I was watching her warm up before the game, and she was making threes comfortably. And so, some nights the basket seems big. And so she and Elena in that stretch where we broke and open took turns making threes. Mm-hmm. And, some of it, you got to give credit to their teammates who, put enough threat in things. I mean, Maisha and Shatori and Ariel are such a threat that, it's hard to just pay attention to one or two players. So we got some decent looks tonight.
Perfect call from me. Thank you.
Yep.
We'll transition to Zoom. We'll start with Jen.
Hey, Coach, sticking with Elena for a second, I still can't quite get over that pass in transition to Shatori that she made for the layup. And I feel like we don't talk a lot about Elena's passing, but how do you feel like that has maybe opened up your offense or helped your offense over the course of the season?
I mean, she's always been a good passer. The first time I ever saw Elena play was in the 8th grade. I saw a film of her. She was playing point guard for the high school team. And she was the passer. I mean, she wasn't their go-to scorer necessarily for the high school team. And I saw her come down. This is a true story. I saw her go off a pick and roll, go back behind her back, and she had a step back three behind it. So she did all of it. She did ball handling. And then the next time down, she came down and whipped the pass cross court. And I was like, okay, this kid's a point guard and she's going to be huge. She's always had the passing ability. We've kind of forgotten that because we haven't watched her play for a while, but in our championship season, there were a lot of nights that she was facilitating for Emma or for Christy or somebody else. And so, it was a great pass, but it's not like a surprising thing to our players.
And then with Shatori, she seems to be coming on, the past couple of weeks, but how important and helpful is it to get, a dozen points from her pretty efficient?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, she gets her first ones like she typically does. She gets a steal, gets a full court layup. She's aggressive that way. She can always get herself a couple buckets a night just because of her defense. She's mad at herself right now for missing those threes in the corner because she's, like she said, I can't get much more wide open than that. And I thought 2 of them were going in. But having bench players come in and score like that is huge. Maisha had a little bit tougher night tonight, trying to find her rhythm. But, if they continue to do that and we get, a performance from Elizabeth or Rui, night in and night out, then we're going to be okay bench-wise.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Matt?
Hey, Coach, 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
One, I'm curious your thoughts about the pace, how well you thought the offense was doing tonight, and the quality of the ball movement tonight.
I thought the ball movement was good. Our pace is, we're not going to win any awards for pace, partly because we're making teams use a lot of the clock at the other end, and so we don't have as many possessions as we would maybe otherwise. I would have liked us to got 70, shots up, but we got 22 threes up and we got to the free throw line a little bit more tonight. But I did like the pace tonight. I thought we were pushing the ball, better and took advantage of some opportunities. We made a concerted effort to make the post players have to run back and, eventually, they would get tired and break down and they did a couple times.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Last question to Christy.
Hey, Coach, I know you said that it wasn't a defensive clinic that you guys put on, but you did have 10 steals and you were plus 12 on the glass and 9 offensive rebounds. How important is that kind of energy you were alluding to at the beginning of the press conference?
The energy is a lot. I think you can steal a bunch of possessions in a game if you can outwork and out-energize an opponent. That's what I'm saying. I think the good part of our defense is we were active. We were in passing lanes. We got deflections, and we forced her. For us to get 27 points off somebody's turnovers means we were doing some things right. We just weren't good in some other areas tonight. I thought we made some bad decisions on helping, but our energy was terrific all night. For us to to get up and get 94 points, that's a good sign.
And the last thing from me, just with the paint points that you were able to manufacture with 40 of them in there, and you knocked in those 10 threes, what are your thoughts on the balance of your offense?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what we would get in paint points tonight going into it because of their size. But our goal was to be better than them in the paint. They are the ones that usually average 40 in the paint. And I think we held them under 30. So, that was big for us. We're not normally a great offensive rebounding team, and I'm not even sure we were great tonight. We were rebounding our own misses that were layups. So bounced right back to us. I don't know that we were special in offensive boards, but we stayed with it. On a couple possessions.
Right. Thank you so much.
Yep.
That's all the time we have. Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
What's up, y'all? Congratulations again. Y'all had juice at shoot around this morning. Before the game, you're yelling at the DJ to crank the music up. Did you guys just have did you feel that energy even before you guys got cranking today?
I missed their annoying asses. We were only gone 2 days.
Yeah, it wasn't long. Maybe 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, we always miss each other when we get a break. I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We have a great team, good people to be around. So I think it was more just getting together, being on court again, just having fun.
Mm-hmm. And we're energized. This is, the first half is what it is, and the second half is go time, and we know what we have in our locker room. And so I think we're just seeing a different focus too.
I asked you about that this morning. I was going to ask you the same thing. You guys know 12 games, it's that stretch of the year that y'all been talking about all year. Was this the way you need to start that?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You always want to start off on a win, and we owed LA from the last time that we were here. So this is just going to continue to spill over. We head in Phoenix tomorrow, and the goal is the same as to take 2 on the road, but just one game at a time. We got 12 games to really just put ourselves in a good position moving forward, and then one game at a time from there.
When she's playing like that, how much easier does the offense get? Which is super silly because we know her accomplishments, but tonight
the best player in the world, back or not, in the game or not, the best player in the world. She allows our offense to flow. She allows my job to be a lot easier. teams have to really figure out what they're going to do to maintain her and then play the rest of us. So just her presence alone, Elena doesn't even have to touch the ball if she didn't want to, and she would make all of our jobs a lot easier. But just her poise, her leadership, her experience and her IQ on both ends of the floor just makes us better.
And one last one for me on the opposite end. You know, they're hanging around in the fourth quarter, and then you both kind of get going, but you take over. When she gets going like that, and knowing the time to, you know, hammer on the gas, what's that do for the overall team?
It just knocks the entire steam out of the other team. When Tosh is scoring and attacking, we're terrifying. And she's worked so much on her game, and you see it, and you see the confidence in her. And even in the Atlanta game, it was the same thing. It was like, all right, you go, I'll go, you go, I go. Give each other a little bit of rest. It's like, your turn, here we go. But yeah, Tosh, I don't know how Tosh does it. Her motor is ridiculous. The amount of minutes she plays, she's always playing the best offensive player on the other team. And then she has to come down and run her offense. But she does a phenomenal job. I don't ever want to play with anyone else. So.
See, my job's secured.
You can't put us in media together.
Appreciate y'all.
Tosh, I wanted to ask you about Lexi Brown. You guys played with her this year, or against her in AU this year. I'm just curious how that experience changed your opinion of her as a player. Like, what did you get to see out of her?
I've known Lexi since I was 19 years old. So I recruited her to Maryland to come in as a one. And from there, we just remained friends. And I've just been able to see her grow. And Lexi was this in college. She's worked her ass off to get better, to get more in shape, to work on her shot, expand her game, get better on defense. And I think AU not only allowed me, but Lexi and all these other players that played in it to just be free and to play without any politics or any pressure from coaches or GMs. And it just allowed us to just fall in love with the game of basketball again. So I think right now you're seeing Lexi and just her confidence in herself, the work that she's put in really pay off. And I'm really proud of Lexi. The situations that she's been in on previous teams, a lot of other players, a lot of other people would have knocked them off their track. A lot of people would have quit and just kind of hung it up. But she knows that she's deserving to be in this league. And I'm glad that she finally found a home in LA.
Having played overseas before, like, how does that experience of being AU prepare you for the WNBA season differently?
That shit is terrible overseas. I can tell you horror stories from my little 40 years over there. But to have another league here in the States that's only 5 weeks of play, it's an elite level of play. You get to be conditioned and get in-game play right before the W season. It's a protection of the W's investment. So my hope is that they support it more moving forward, because again, we're keeping players home. They don't have to go overseas, be out of market. They can play here, play at an elite level, protect their bodies, and protect the team's assets. And I think that's the most important thing.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We'll transition to Zoom. We'll start with Jen.
Hey, Tosh. Hey, Elena. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Tosh, going back to you, 21-9, it seemed like you were always pulling the right strings, whether it was passing or shooting. Just what were you seeing out there to get you in rhythm and so just in tune with what everybody needed?
I think I'm just trying to read the defenses a lot better. With our offense, the ball is in my hands majority of the time, and I'm watching actions develop, and I have to make reads off of them. So just making sure she's getting her touches, making sure A's getting her touches, AC, and then just finding myself as well in being aggressive, understanding that if I get to the basket a few times, it's going to open them up a lot more because they have to commit to me. So we run a lot of ball screens for me, and that's my job, is to figure out whether I'm open or she's open or the opposite person is open. So just trying to read and put us in successful situations.
And then for either of you, did you guys get to watch Ariel do her thing in the 3-point contest over the weekend? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, A's such a good shooter. She's so calm and she's steady. So it was really fun to watch her, put pressure on the great Allie Quigley. Gosh, she just can't be beaten. But I expect A to be back next year and win it.
Absolutely.
Thank you both.
Wayne.
My first question to the league leader in assists, Natasha Cloud. How you doing? This question for you. When we talked the last time at ESA, about the snub, it just seems like you just been locked in. Just how are you feeling after a performance like that?
I'm just trying to be me. At the end of the day, I can say that I thought I deserved to be an all-star, but at the end of the day, it's about us. It's not about me. It's about this team and about the championship that we want to win. So all those little accolades, while yes, I think I should be, or I am deserving of them, those don't mean shit to me. Coming in every day, doing my job so that our team is successful. That's what I want to do. And that's who I am. That's who I've always been. So those accolades are great. Don't leave me off defensive player of the or just on the defensive team. Y'all need to stop playing with me on the defensive team. But at the end of the day, it's the Mystics across my chest. So that's all that matters.
And to you, Elena, back-to-back games of 26 points that you're getting up for the second half of the season and playoff push. How have you been feeling?
I feel great. This has been like a very exploratory season for me. And everything's kind of sort of gone to plan. I know a lot of people probably have thought like, ooh, she's been out of games in and out, but like this has all been part of the plan. Mm-hmm. I've been able to continue to get stronger, continue to work, get comfortable. And then my teammates have been great at handling me being in and out and finding ways to, we play a little bit differently when I'm in or out. And then now that we're at this final push of the season, I'll be in much more. Thank goodness. It's been really hard to be out and watching. But it's been a really exciting season for me and just fun to be back again playing.
Safe travels to Phoenix, ladies.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Christy.
Hey, you guys. Hey. I have my bonnet on, or I would be.
Yeah, where are you?
I have my bonnet on, so yeah. Anyway, so Elena, this one's for you first. Just with the intentionality to score in the paint tonight with 40 points, and then defensively to take that part of LA's game away. What was that aspect like in terms of the approach?
Yeah, it was something we talked about. We had to, limit their points in the paint. When they get a lot, they're a really tough team. So that was something we stressed. And then offensively, we've been trying to get more post-up looks and different plays where I can get the ball inside and also have the ability to find others moving and spacing. So I think we've been getting much better at just kind of moving and not getting too stagnant or not, over forcing it and just finding the right time to attack the paint.
And Tosh, this one's for you. With how the ball was moving with the 24 assists and then defensively forcing the action and getting 27 points off of their turnovers, how important is that flow of offense to sustain as you move to Phoenix for the next game?
I think in our past, we play defense and we get out in transition and we don't run offense. We just kind of move the ball. And I think we put an emphasis in our first meeting back the other day when we had film session. They really did a good job of breaking down our strengths and our weaknesses, putting things in front of us to allow us to see like, okay, these are areas that we're really good in. And then these are areas that we need to work in. And transition, defense, those were things that we could get better at. So that was really a point of emphasis and intentionality for us today was to push pace, to outrun teams because we have such a deep bench too. That we can just get easy offense, and we're number 2 right now in defense, and we want to be the number 1 defensive team in the league, and I think we can get there by the end of the season. But that's just us taking ownership of that and really buying into that end of the floor, and then really pushing it back at them.
Yep, love to see it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We have time for one last question. So Rafiq.
This is Rafiq with Nothing But That Sports Talk. Congratulations on the win, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Part of the reason why you're able to get this blowout win, or in this case, 13-point win, is the fact that you had a lot of impressive ball movement and fast break scoring. I want to get your overall impressions on that as far as the way you guys came together.
Yeah, the same thing. It was just it was a big emphasis for us today to be able to defend not only our individual matchups, but collectively being on a string, being a weak side, communicating through it, and then allowing our defense to bring our offense. And our ball movement was probably the best it's been in a while today. And I think that's us just really like dissecting our offense, knowing what looks and what actions we want to look at, and understanding our teammates and positions that they want to be on the floor. So it was a total team effort tonight. I'm really proud of us, and we just need to carry over into Phoenix.
Appreciate the insight. Good luck in the push for the playoffs.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Great. Tosh, Elena, thank you.